My name is Helga Pender, and I've been working at the delegation of the European Union to Georgia since 2009, working on issues that deal primarily with the strengthening of civil society, also with election-related issues, and most recently also on parliamentary support. So you see, they all fit together into what I would call a sort of a package of support for democratization in general. Civil society is one of the major focuses of what we do, but a lot of my time has been spent in the Eastern Partnership countries, so I like to think that I'm quite familiar with the way civil society has developed here over the last 15 years or so. People didn't speak so much about organizations, they spoke about people, as if the organization was that person. That would, I think, tell a very bad story about Georgian civil society, because, I mean, you've seen after the Rose Revolution and to a little bit after the changing government now in October 2012, that people leave from civil society and they go to the government. And if the organizations are dependent on one person, then it becomes very difficult to sustain an organization. Over the last year, I think quite a lot of development in civil society. You have this phrase that people grow with the tasks that they are given. And I think that civil society last year, especially in the pre-election period, they had a lot of things to do, they had a lot of issues to monitor, and I think it was really the first time when they got this coalition going as well, that they really made a name for themselves, and you can see that has changed them to a great extent. Sometimes you have the impression in Georgian society that the watchdog role is one that is exaggerated. In the past, of course, you could say that was also because politics to some extent was unbalanced. You had the government, but you had no opposition, so civil society, to some extent, whether it wanted to or not, was sort of forced into the role of being an opposition, and that's not the role of civil society. So now civil society, to some extent, could take on more of the role that I just mentioned, of being an impartial arbiter, and playing more, I think, the role of representing the interests of its different target groups. That's something that the European Union, tries very much to support. One other thing that the European Union will be looking at particularly also on the local level, is trying to increase the representativity of civil society organizations. If civil society isn't really representing the people who live in that area, in that municipality, why should local authorities take on board what the civil society organizations have to say? So that's something that we want to concentrate on more, that civil society becomes more aware of the fact that it's not only government which is accountable to the people, it's also civil society which is accountable. And that's something that has been largely left on the back burner, I think, over the last few years. The European Union wants to look more at not having this sort of competition on the local level between civil society on the one hand and local authorities, and who is better and who can do more for the people, but to also get them to form alliances where they see that they have common interests which they can represent then already to the national government to actually make changes in their local area. If you ask me about some of the specific projects we've had where I've really seen progress and where I've been proud actually of what we've done, two of them very much spring to mind. One of them is the media monitoring project, which we have been supporting already since 2010. One of the major goals of that was to train Georgian civil society organizations to act as competent media monitors. We saw that in 2010 there was really a lack of that sort of capacity in the country. So the European Union has worked with civil society organizations, with our partners UNDP, for a number of years to strengthen their capacities. Another very positive project, I think, also has been our the European Union's support over many years for the Central Election Commission. And there we have monthly meetings which bring together all sorts of organizations that work on electoral issues, whether it be on the side of the state or whether it be on the side of civil society or of the international community. If you were to look at the level of awareness in Georgian society as a whole regarding Eastern Partnership and the changes, the benefits that the signature of these agreements will bring, then obviously there is still a lot to be done. And civil society can play a very important role, both through the experts who know a lot about the different issues like the deep and comprehensive free trade area and how that will affect concretely businesses in Georgia. There is still a lot that they could be doing and that the European Union could be supporting them to do in order to inform people about the benefits and the changes that are coming. The whole concept of civil society is very closely bound up with what we talk about when we talk about European values. It's the tolerance for differing points of view, it's openness and balance, it's hopefully, though not always, of course, in practice, lack of corruption, it's political pluralism. All these things are values which are also very closely bound up with civil society. Civil society is you. Civil society is everybody. It's your mother, it's your father, your brothers, your sisters, your teachers. In the end, everybody who makes up the society has the duty to see that the society is working properly. Whether people realize that they have that responsibility is another issue. Probably those people who realize that they have a certain responsibility are the ones who become more active then and join civil society organizations, but we're all civil society.